Failure is just a setup for a comeback. It ain't the period at the end of your story. It's just a comma. See, too many people treat failure like it's a full stop, like it's proof that they weren't good enough, smart enough, or worthy enough. That's a lie. Failure is just life's way of asking, how bad do you want it? You think the people at the top never messed up. You think success came easy. Nah, every successful person you admire has failed big time. They just didn't unpack and live there. They took the L, learned from it, and got back in the game. Sometimes failure is the very thing that sharpens your vision. You don't really know how strong you are until life punches you dead in the face and dares you to get up. But that comeback, that's where the power is. That's where the magic happens. That's where your character gets built and your confidence starts growing. You find out who you are in the storm, not the sunshine. So don't fear failure, use it. Let it fuel you. Let it remind you that you're still in the fight. Because a setup means something's coming. And what's coming is bigger than what you lost. If you don't quit, everybody falls. Everybody. I don't care who you are, where you come from, or how perfect you try to look on Instagram. Life is going to knock you on your behind. That's a guarantee. But here's the difference: state champions don't stay down. Regular folks get hit and start rehearsing failure. Start getting cozy with giving up, like it's their new best friend. But winners hit the floor, wipe the blood off their lip and say, all right, let's go again. They get back up swinging, even if their legs shaking and their faith barely hanging on. That's what separates the successful from the stuck. It ain't about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you refuse to stay down. Life ain't a clean fight. It's messy, it's ugly, and sometimes it feels personal. But guess what? If you're still breathing, you're still in the fight. And sometimes that next round, just the next one, is the one where you land the punch that changes everything. Don't count yourself out just because you hit the mat. Falling isn't failing. Quitting is. And you ain't a quitter. Your dream doesn't expire just because you messed up. Let that sink in. You might have made mistakes, taken a wrong turn, lost time, lost money, maybe even lost yourself a little in the process. But that doesn't mean the dream is done. Dreams don't come with expiration dates. Life doesn't roll like a milk carton that spoils after a certain point. Just because you've had some setbacks doesn't mean you're disqualified. That dream you had, that vision burning inside you, it's still valid, still waiting, still calling your name. What you went through, that's part of the process. That's not the end of the road, that's just construction. Detours don't mean denial. You think the dream disappeared just because it got hard. No. What really happened is you got tested. See, anybody can chase a dream when things are easy. But life's gonna ask you, do you still want it when it gets ugly? When it doesn't make sense? When it hurts? And if you can answer yes, even through the tears, the silence, and the doubt, then you're closer than you think. The mistake doesn't kill the dream. Quitting does. So if you're still standing, even if you're standing in the rubble of your last attempt, guess what? You still got a shot. Keep building, keep believing. Your dream ain't dead. It's just waiting on you to show up again. Quit listening to people who ain't trying nothing for real. Some of y'all are out here taking advice from folks who never had the courage to chase a dream in their life. You're letting people who've never stepped in the ring tell you how to fight. That's like taking swimming lessons from somebody who's scared of the water. Let me tell you something. Opinions are free, but wisdom costs experience. And some of the loudest voices in your life are coming from the sideline, not the battlefield. They haven't risked anything, haven't built anything, haven't sacrificed for anything. But they got a whole lot to say about what you should or shouldn't do. That's noise. Turn it down. You want to go somewhere in life. Start surrounding yourself with people who are actually doing something. People who know what it's like to fall flat on their face, wipe the dirt off, and get back up with even more fire. People who tell you, yeah, I failed, but I grew. Because those are the ones who get it. They won't laugh at your setbacks. They'll remind you they've had their own. You can't build a future listening to folks who've settled for less. Let them stay comfortable while you stay hungry. Let them talk while you walk. At the end of the day, you've got one life. Don't spend it being steered by people too scared to even start. Keep your focus, keep your faith, and keep moving forward. You gotta fail forward. That means when you fall in the direction of progress. Don't fall back into fear, into doubt, into shame. Fall forward into growth, into wisdom, into the next level of who you're becoming. Too many people treat failure like it's a sign they're not meant to win. No, it's a sign that you're in motion, that you're doing something that matters, that you're putting yourself out there. If you never fail, it means you're not trying hard enough. You're playing safe, and safe don't get you greatness. Every successful person has a trail of failures behind them. Mistakes, bad decisions, missed opportunities. But the key is, they didn't let those failures paralyze them. They used them as fuel. They learned what not to do. They built resilience. And they kept moving. Failing forward means you're collecting lessons, not losses. It means you're getting better, even when things fall apart. You begin to realize that every no sharpens your yes. Every door that closes pushes you to knock louder, smarter, and stronger on the next one. And when you do that, when you treat failure like part of the journey instead of the end of it, you become dangerous. You become the kind of person who doesn't give up just because the road gets rough. You use that pain, that embarrassment, that frustration, and you build something with it. So the next time you fall, don't cry about it. Don't hide from it. Fail forward. Dust yourself off, take the lesson, and keep stepping. Because you're getting closer every time. Faith and grind is the winning combo. One without the other won't get you far. See, some people got all the faith in the world. They're praying, they're hoping, they're speaking affirmations every morning, but they ain't moving. They're sitting back waiting for blessings to fall out the sky like it's Amazon Prime. Listen, faith don't work if you don't. Believing in yourself, in your vision, in your future. That's step one. But step two is getting up, getting out, and grinding like your life depends on it. Because it does. You can't just sit around talking about one day. One day becomes no day if you don't put some hustle behind that hope. And on the flip side, you got folks grinding all day, every day, but they don't believe in anything. They're working hard, but they're not working smart. They don't see anything beyond what's in front of them. No faith, no vision, no reason to keep pushing when it gets hard. And trust me, it will get hard. That's where faith steps in. Faith is what keeps you moving when nothing's working. It's what tells you, keep showing up, even when you're tired, broke, or feel invisible. Faith is the engine, grind is the gas. You need both. If you want to win, you got to believe it's possible, then put in the work to prove it. Wake up early, stay up late, work when nobody's clapping for you. Trust when it doesn't make sense. Because when faith and grind come together, that's a force no failure can stop. Your breakthrough is on the other side of one more try. And I know you've heard that before, maybe too many times. But let me tell you something real. Most people quit right before it gets good, right before the door opens, right before the moment shifts, right before the blessing shows up. They walk away because they're tired, because they've tried and failed so many times, because nothing seems to be working. But what if the next try was the try? What if that one more push was the one that changed everything? See, life has a funny way of testing you hardest right before the breakthrough comes. That's when the pressure hits, the silence gets loud, and quitting starts sounding like peace. But that moment, the one that feels like the end, is often the beginning. You've come too far to stop now. You've cried too many tears, prayed too many prayers, worked too many late nights to throw in the towel. I don't care if you failed 10 times, 20 times, 100 times. You've got one more in you, one more call, one more audition, one more plan, one more try, because you're not done yet. Not if there's breath in your body and fight in your soul. That breakthrough, that life-changing moment, that thing you've been working for, it might be right on the other side of your next attempt. Don't rob yourself of what's waiting on you just because it's taking longer than you thought. Stay in the game. Go again. Because when you refuse to quit, even when quitting makes sense, that's when the miracle shows up. The story is always better when you had to struggle for it. Let's be honest. Nobody gets inspired by easy. Easy don't move people. Easy don't change lives. It's the struggle that makes your story powerful. It's the nights you couldn't sleep because the pressure was so heavy. It's the moments you thought about quitting but didn't. That's the stuff people feel. That's the kind of story that makes someone else believe they can make it too. You show me someone who had to claw their way out of a dark place, who lost everything but refused to lose their faith, who got rejected 100 times but showed up for the 100. And first, I'll show you someone unforgettable, someone who didn't just win, they earned it. You see, when you've been through the fire, you walk different. You carry a different kind of confidence. Not the fake, flashy kind, but that quiet strength that says, I've been through hell and I'm still here. That's the kind of story that makes people sit up and pay attention. You appreciate the victory more when you know what it cost you. You walk in your purpose stronger because you know what it took to get there. Every tear, every disappointment, every setback, it all becomes part of the testimony. The glory means more when it follows real pain. So don't be ashamed of your struggle. Embrace it, because one day, somebody's going to hear your story and realize their struggle doesn't mean they're losing. It means they're on the path to something great. Keep writing your story. It's already powerful. You're just in the best chapter right now. So let me leave you with this. Failure ain't final, not unless you decide to quit. You've got to understand that every setback, every heartbreak, every moment that didn't go the way you planned, it's not the end of you. It's just a part of the process that shapes the winner you're becoming. Life doesn't reward the perfect. It rewards the persistent. You may not have it all figured out, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep showing up, keep swinging, keep believing even when the odds are stacked against you. That next move, that next prayer, that next try, it could be the one that changes everything. So don't count yourself out. Don't let fear of failure write your ending. Stand tall, dig deep, and keep going until you win. Because if you don't quit, you can't lose. The fight ain't over, not for you, not today.